You're mid-conversation. Someone's talking. Your eyes drift. To the table, the window, anywhere but their face. This isn't shyness. It's your nervous system hitting the brakes. In a few seconds, you'll know exactly why. Here's what most people assume. If you can't hold eye contact, something's wrong with you. You're awkward. You're hiding something. You don't care enough to look. Maybe someone even told you that once. Look at me when I'm talking to you. As if looking away was the same thing as not listening. But here's the thing. Your brain treats a direct gaze like a live wire. The moment someone locks eyes with you, a part of your brain built for detecting threats lights up. Not because the other person is dangerous, because eye contact itself is intense. More intense than almost any other everyday signal your brain processes. Think about the last time you were talking to someone and looked away mid-sentence. You weren't being rude. You were buying yourself a few milliseconds to actually think. Maybe you remember being a kid, sitting across from a teacher or a parent, being told to look at them while they talked. You tried. Your eyes kept sliding away anyway. Not out of defiance. Your small, developing brain was already doing exactly what an adult brain does now, reducing input so it could actually process what was being said. And this is where it gets strange. Researchers have found that direct eye contact activates the same brain region responsible for detecting danger, the amygdala. It doesn't happen with averted gaze, only direct. Your brain, for a split second, treats being looked at the way it treats being watched by something that could hurt you. Psychologists have a name for this. They call it the eye contact effect. It's the idea that a direct gaze doesn't just carry information, it changes how your whole brain processes everything else happening in that moment. Your self-awareness spikes. Your emotional processing spikes. And all of that costs mental energy. It looks like disengagement, but it's actually the opposite. Your brain protecting its own ability to keep thinking clearly while everything else in the conversation keeps moving. So when you look away, you're not disengaging. You're managing bandwidth. Sound familiar? That flicker of relief when you finally get to look at your coffee cup instead of a stranger's face. That's not weakness. That's your brain, quietly reducing its own load so it can keep up with the conversation. Here's what nobody tells you. People who struggle with eye contact are often the ones thinking the hardest in a conversation, not the least engaged, the most. You're at a work meeting. Someone asks you a question you actually want to answer well, and the second you start forming the real answer, your eyes slide off their face and onto the table. Not because you're stalling, because your brain just freed up the exact resources it needed to think clearly. There's a version of this that shows up on video calls too. I mean that tiny specific exhaustion of a camera lens staring back at you, hour after hour, with nowhere to look but away without it looking like you're avoiding the whole call. Turns out that's not just you being dramatic. A screen never blinks. It never looks away first. That's a strange, unnatural kind of eye contact. Constant, unbroken, one-directional. Your brain was never built for that. And knowing this changes something practical. Next time you feel that pull to look away, you don't have to fight it like it's a flaw to hide. Glance down, glance sideways, come back. That small break isn't you failing at the conversation, it's you staying in it, just on your own terms. Some of the most present, engaged people in any room are the ones who look away the most, then come back with something real to say. But here's where it gets more complicated. Not everyone avoids eye contact for the same reason, and that matters. For some people, it's purely cognitive. The brain simply needs a break from processing too much at once. For others, it's tied to social anxiety, and here the pattern looks different. Research out of Leiden University found something specific. People with social anxiety don't avoid every gaze equally. They avoid it most when they're the ones being watched while performing, giving a speech, answering a question, being the center of attention. Simply looking at someone quietly, without pressure, is often fine. That distinction matters, because it means gaze avoidance isn't one single behavior with one single cause. It's your nervous system responding to how exposed you feel in that specific moment.
Look, there's a third pattern too, one that gets less attention. For some people, especially those wired for high sensitivity or ADHD, eye contact adds an extra layer of input on top of everything else already competing for attention. One study found something almost backwards from what you'd expect. The longer someone spent looking directly in the eye region during conversation, the more their attention actually scattered. Not less, more. The eyes weren't helping them focus, they were one more signal to juggle. And there's a flip side most people never consider. Eye contact isn't just about you. It's a two-way signal. When you look at someone, your brain is also unconsciously reading how much power sits in that moment, how much safety. Across cultures, and even in the animal kingdom, a direct gaze has always been tangled up with dominance and threat. Looking away isn't just discomfort, it's an old, wired-in way of saying, "I'm not a threat to you." Which means, in a strange way, the instinct to look away is less about being closed off. It's more about an ancient social reflex nobody consciously chooses. Wait, even in a crowded street, researchers watching people navigate a packed sidewalk found the same thing. When people wanted to avoid eye contact with strangers, they didn't close their eyes or turn their whole head, they just dropped their gaze slightly toward the ground. A tiny, automatic adjustment, running in the background the entire time. Here's the part that's harder to talk about. Chronic eye contact avoidance does have a cost. Other people read it, often wrongly, as disinterest, dishonesty, or low confidence. Studies on social judgment have found that people who avoid gaze are consistently rated as less trustworthy, even when they have nothing to hide. That's a real, painful mismatch. Your brain is protecting you, and the world is misreading it as a red flag. If you've ever left a job interview replaying how much you looked away, wondering if it cost you the offer, that mismatch is exactly why, right? It's not that you seemed uninterested. You were probably more locked in than anyone else in the room. The room just couldn't tell. Okay, so here's the flip side of that pain. Once you understand what's actually happening, that this is a nervous system doing its job, not a character flaw, the shame around it tends to loosen. You stop performing eye contact like a test you keep failing. You start treating it like what it actually is, a dial you can adjust, not a switch you're broken for failing to flip permanently to on. And there's something almost funny buried in the research here. Small, steady eye contact, broken naturally every few seconds, actually reads as more genuine to other people than a fixed, unblinking stare. The people trained to hold perfect eye contact the whole time often come across as slightly off, a little too intense, a little too rehearsed. The goal was never to stare. It was never really about the eyes at all. It was about whether the person in front of you felt like you were actually there. And you can be fully there, thinking, listening, caring, with your eyes on the table half the time. That's worth sitting with for a second. Maybe you've spent years treating your own gaze like something to manage, something to apologize for, and something you kept trying over and over to force into place. But you've been fighting a system that was never broken to begin with. It was calibrating the whole time. You're not avoidant. You're just running a nervous system that takes direct gaze seriously, more seriously than most people ever will. If this resonated, that's pretty much what this whole channel is. Why you are the way you are.